Hello and welcome to the Phoenix Wisdom Podcast. I am your host, Janet Sandberg. I help people figure out who they are, why they're here, what's getting in their way, and how to move forward with clarity, confidence, grace, and ease. When I am not doing this podcast, which I love doing. I am here today with Will Person, who has an amazing story, and I'm very excited to hear it. So, Will, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you. Really appreciate what
Let's
you do. It's not easy.
thank you. It's we'll get into that. it's not easy, but it is also kind of easy. The more you talk about the hard stuff, the easier it gets.
Yeah, well, that
So,
makes sense. Yeah.
yeah. So let's start by just learning a little bit about you. Tell us about yourself.
Well, let me see. I raced for Team USA. I started around 1998, 1999. I'm not exactly sure the year, to be very honest. I had some paperwork show up recently that says 98, but I thought it was like 99 or 2000, to be honest. Like, it was just such a blur. That time went by so quick. But I raced until my last race was 2007 of January. Was my last national championship race, and we actually won it, so that was good. Yeah, so then that was the point I kind of left the sport. So that was after my 9th year.
All right. And yeah, we'll come back later to what you've been doing since then. I'm not sure. Did you actually say what sport it was?
Oh, I was a bobsledder. If you look
Okay.
over that shoulder, you might see a helmet right there.
Oh
Bobsled spikes in that glass case, and actually a picture of my team up here from the 2002 games is up on
yeah.
that
Amazing.
graph. Yeah, some of my favorite stuff.
Very
Yes, I
cool.
was a bobsledder for Team USA, not Jamaica. Everybody says Jamaica because I let my hair grow now. They see these, they're like, "Yeah, you just wasn't American. You're
Yeah.
Jamaican."
That's
Like no, yeah,
that's a different movie.
yeah. By the way, those guys, when my mom passed around 2018, they were the first ones to call me and check on me to make sure I was okay.
Aw.
Yeah, really good guys. I really appreciate those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's and for the people who don't know, who are not perhaps as old as myself, um, there really was a Jamaican bobsled team um,
Yeah.
that sort of got in through a loophole, and there was a movie made about them and everything because it's just an unreal story.
Yeah,
So
actually, they inspired because when I raced, we had Jamaica, we had the Virgin Islands, America Samoa, Brazil, like all these. They inspired so many different countries to come participate. So it's yeah,
amazing,
yeah.
and it's such a cool sport. Um, but let's hear your story and how being on the bobsled team sort of ended up affecting so much of your life, not just, what you were doing day to day. So
Yeah.
where, because like being on the national team and going to Olympics, like that all sounds wonderful. But if you're on
Yeah.
the podcast here, obviously things were not always wonderful. So let's
No.
go back to that point of the story. What happened?
Well, I guess the biggest point was I had teammates like right after 2002 Olympics. One of my teammates shot himself in the chest.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
but he wasn't like a national team athlete, so it really didn't get any press. No one really talked about it very much. So that was the first suicide, and then around I think it was 2020 or 21, an article came out called Sledhead, written by the New York Times, and it was talking about my teammates, some of them who committed suicide. There was quite a few others who tried suicide. There was a few Parkinson's, seizures, strokes. There was a whole gamut of these neurological diseases going on. And like I was having side effects as well, but I didn't recognize the side effects. Like, for example, I would have this thing I would do every now and then. I wake up in the middle of the night and I don't know where I'm at. Like I'm panicking. So I'll jump up, hit the light switch, and I just look at the whatever pictures are on the wall is kind of what I can tell where I'm at. Like
Mhm.
I'm in Europe, those pictures look different than in America. So I
Yeah.
just had to think, and the thing that I think that allowed this thing to go so long is like I rationalized it. Like I was like, oh, you know what? I have such a great life. I travel. I'm in a new country every 7 days. That I don't know where I'm at. That's what this is.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I was rationalizing it, and the truth was like, no, I was. It was the beginning phases of me starting to have some slippage in the mind and understanding. And then there was another time I was hanging out with some friends, and my buddy's like, "Hey, there's your ex girlfriend over there," and I was like, "Oh, that's a beautiful girl, but I don't know her." And then she ran over and jumped in my arms, and I caught her, and I was just like, "Oh my god, I know this girl," you know. But I at that time I rationalized it's like, oh, I'm an athlete. Everybody loves the athletes. That's what this really is. I'm just. But the truth was, I wasn't recognizing people that I knew. I wasn't recognizing
Mm.
faces, and I couldn't remember names.
Wow.
And I just once again rationalized it. And one of the other ones that really got me, as soon as I left Team USA, I moved to Los Angeles, and people ask me, "How old are you?" And I automatically say 28. And then I'm walking away. I'm thinking, I'm not 28. I stopped racing. I was 36. I turned 37 that year. Wait a minute, I'm 40. I'm not 28. Like, I literally didn't know how old I was. Like, I was stuck in
Oh,
this little loop
no.
thing. And then, so fast forward, as the time goes on, I was having these issues where, like in the morning, I had a routine. When I wake up in the morning, I usually had a thermos of coffee or some kind of caffeinated beverage on my nightstand. Otherwise, if I didn't have it on the nightstand, I wasn't going to get out of bed till like 3 o'clock or something. I couldn't wake up. I was just, I was just falling apart really. And then once I wake up, like I had to figure out what the day is. Like I don't know if it's a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So every day I
Mm.
had a little planner next to the bed. I look at the date on it. I'll say, okay, it's Monday. Now I got to figure out what month we're in. And so that was my daily routine.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I thought I was becoming this diabetic or something. I was like, it feels like low blood sugar. And that's what I've seen diabetics go through their issues. I said, that's what I
Mhm.
must have. I have no energy. I can't get up. I need this. I see the diabetic people taking the orange juice, but I'm doing caffeine. So it's got to be the same thing. But doctors kept
Mhm.
telling me, no, you don't have diabetes. And so that's kind of what my struggles were, like trying to figure this thing out. Every time a symptom pop up, I'm trying to figure it out. The doctors aren't helping me. They're just like, oh no, you're fine. You like they look at me like
You're
you're
healthy.
lean, you're a 220
Mhm.
pound athlete, and like you're like, no, something's not right. And then when it really kicked in, it's because that article came out by the New York Times, and I started seeing like the whole picture. Because one of my teammates called me one time, and he wanted to be a writer, and so he would call me with these ideas, and I thought it was creative writing. I'm like, wow, this is so bizarre. It's so good. And I was helping him, like, and this was prior to COVID. So the truth is, I just kind of figured this out like over the last couple of weeks. Like that wasn't creative writing on him. His mind was already slipping, and so those weird things he
Mm.
was wanting to turn into a script was just his mind. Because the very next time he called me, he was speaking gibberish.
Oh,
Like,
no.
yeah, I couldn't understand anything he said, not at all. But like when I first started the sport, like I owned a youth treatment facility in Utah for adolescents, and so mental health was my background. And so every day I told myself, like, I got to get him some help. Like, this is not normal. This is not real. I gotta help
Mhm.
him. So every day I said that to myself. And the truth is, like, I didn't make any move, make a phone call. I didn't do anything to get him any help. And then I found out that he had went to his family's factory, and then he hung himself. And
Oh.
yeah, I felt guilty. I felt responsible. I
Mhm.
was highly embarrassed. We had a memorial call for him. Like all the athletes got on. I didn't get on it because I felt
Oh.
guilty. I just felt
Yeah.
guilty. And but on that call, I was told people were talking about they're having the same type of issues, but they just can't put it into words what it really is. And I was like,
Right.
wow, that sounds like me. And
Oh.
so as we started connecting them dots, they went and checked Pablo's brain after he committed suicide. and he was in stage 4 of CTE. So now I know this thing has a name, and now I know what it is. And then I just kind of started trying to fight for everybody. And really,
Right.
the main fight I was having was I told the Olympic team, like, everything is negotiable except one thing. I need you guys to warn the new generation before they start this sport. They need to understand what's down the road for them. And they just fought me on it, and they still fight me on it. And like our last time in court, like, it was literally me versus my lawyers and the other lawyers, because they kind of teamed up now. Like, they made an offer for us. They wanted to, but they only want to evaluate the athletes. They don't want to give us any treatment or even give us money for we can treat ourselves. Like, it's nothing. They just want to evaluate us. And I just
Hmm.
don't really see the point of that. Like, who go
Yeah.
to the doctor's not going to treat you? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is CTE?
Like, I can't pronounce the real words because a lot of words I can't say anymore. Like, I
Okay.
can see them, and some days I just can't say them. It's just part of my condition. But
Okay.
it's the condition that was wiping out the NFL. Matter of fact, there was a suicide yesterday. Rudy Johnson, I believe his name is. He was running back for Cincinnati Bengals. He committed suicide yesterday.
Oh, I
Uh,
didn't see that.
yeah, and did you see the one that was about about 6 weeks ago? A guy went up to the NFL office in New York. He planned on shooting those guys.
Oh gosh.
He killed some people before he got in the office, and then he left a suicide note saying he believed he has CTE.
Okay, I just Googled it.
Yeah,
So it's chronic traumatic encephalopathy. Encephalopathy. There we go.
yeah. There you go.
Yeah, no, nobody can say that word.
Sometimes I can say it like it'll just roll off the tongue, but some days my brain will still be like, nah, just don't embarrass yourself. Just let it go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so you had teammates who died by suicide and other people with the same thing. So were you ever suicidal?
All the time.
All the time.
Every day for I don't know how long. But I was a counselor. And so what kind of saved me is all the things that I taught all my clients over the years, which is like, it's a permanent solution. Like, if you do that, there's no coming back from that. And I had
Mhm.
somebody do that when I was a kid. One of my neighbors committed suicide. And I saw how it affected his family. So I've always been a stickler, like, suicide is not the option. Like, you're just going to hurt the people that's left behind here.
Yeah.
And so for me, when I was in that stage, like, I couldn't commit suicide. I had a routine. I would tell myself, like, I said, okay, it's a good idea to kill myself today. It'll be a good idea tomorrow as well. So then when tomorrow comes, I'm feeling that way. Okay, it's a good idea today. It'll be a good idea tomorrow. So I just keep moving that day for myself. Like, today is never that day. And that's kind of how I kind of addressed it. Yeah. But
Mm,
there was some
I
days,
love
but
that.
but the sad part is, like, I had even really, I just really just start speaking about this, but like I was praying for death though. Like, every night before bed, I was like, God, please don't. I don't want to wake up for another day like
Mm,
yesterday, or like a day like today. I don't. And so all my days were awful, and like 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 I hate to say this, but like there was times where, like, who prays for pancreatic cancer? This guy. I was like, let it come in, let it get me and wipe me out and let me be done. I had an uncle who was diagnosed. He didn't even know he was sick.
mm,
I was like, maybe I can go like that, and then it won't be so hard on the family because it was a natural thing. It wouldn't be because I did it. And so,
yeah.
so I was suicidal. I won't say suicide. I wanted to die. I wanted to die, but I
Mhm.
didn't want to take my own life. That's the difference.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just want it to end.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
yeah. But to be cloudy every day, all day, it's like, you don't even know who you are sometimes. Like, I was getting lost in my neighborhood. And literally, when I was telling you, like, I was trying to help my friend Pablo, I may put these plans to help him. Like, I was literally, like, I couldn't, I was struggling so bad. Like, I took the mattress off my bed in the bedroom and I put it in the living room on the floor. And so I was literally living on the floor, crawling around my
Mhm.
apartment in my place. And here I am trying to help my friend Pablo. Like, no, man, you couldn't help him
Yeah.
because you needed help yourself. And that's
Yeah.
why I kind of forgave myself once I realized that. But until I really knew what my struggles were, like, I took that blame, and I just, yeah. And that's what has me fighting so hard now. Like, I'm watching these young kids, going into the sport, and like we were tricked into the sport. Like, they didn't tell us like about the dangers, and they didn't
Mm,
warn us about any of those dangers. And even though I'm trying to make them warn people now, they still fight me on the wording on it. And I
right.
just think it's totally inappropriate. And like, people thinking like, are you trying to get rid of the sport? And like, no, I just want transparency. So if they choose to do it,
Yeah.
they know
Yeah. They
what's
know
down
what
the
the
road.
risks are.
Yeah, and then when they kick in, they know what to do. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I found some things to do that help. So that's really what it's about: is the transparency and just helping everybody.
Right.
Yeah,
So CTE comes about from, I guess, sustained or repetitive head injuries, I'm guessing.
that's what they say. But I think there's another piece to it. I
Okay.
think the G forces, because there were people
Oh.
who never crashed in that bobsled, and they got the same symptoms as me. And
Mm.
because at one time we took, like, the only people that pull the same G forces like us is the fighter pilots. So then when they do those, when they're driving, I mean, they're flying and
Yeah.
they do those bank turns. That's what the
Yeah.
bobsled track does. We're going
Right.
this way, now we're going that way. And then
Yeah.
that's when all the blood leaves the head, and some people black out, and
Oh,
it's like,
wow.
yeah, it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough.
Huh.
And so it's like, until they remove some of those G forces, like, I know now, like, according to the New York Times article, we had spikes of 84.5 Gs, where the
Oh my gosh.
fighter pilots is around 10 to 15, I believe.
Yeah.
Space
Yeah.
shuttle, space shuttle was 3. So I'm thinking, well, why are we pulling 84.5 Gs? And
Wow.
the crazy part, it makes sense, because when we took the fighter pilots on a trip one time, when we got out of the sled, they were rattled. And I was thinking, wait a minute, you guys are the best of the best. I did
Yeah.
6 mock clip trips that day. I might have taken 6 trips. Or I did at least 3 or 4. And they took one and they're rattled. Like, I didn't understand that. Like how could that be? How? I'm like,
Yeah.
does that mean I could be a fighter pilot? Like, sign
Yeah,
me up.
absolutely.
But an article just came out on them in December. They have the exact same symptoms as the bobsledders. Yeah.
Huh.
However, I'll be honest, if you try to find that article, or if you find that article and click on that link, it won't work anymore. The only way to
Mm,
get that original article is you have to go to the author, the person who wrote it. And actually,
right.
I have a live link if you ever want to read it. But yeah, it's all the same stuff. And so on this journey, I realized, like, it's not just the athletes; it's our
Mhm.
veterans. Our veterans are really
Mhm.
struggling, and it's the same treatment. And I was like, you know what? I know what brought me out of this, so let me try to provide the same thing and help the rest of these people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did bring you out of it? What helped?
Well, do you know who Joe Namath is?
Yeah.
He put some information out. He has some videos, and he said he used hyperbaric oxygen to reverse his symptoms. But the one thing, like, he never told us what his symptoms were. He never said how it helped him. He just said reversed it. And the more
Okay.
research I did, like, the more I felt helpless, because if you research the athletes who deal with it, it's an article, either they murdered someone, or they killed themselves, or they did something that was out of their character. You keep hearing that same thing over and over and over.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's just, you just want to give up. Like, you don't even want to try to fight. Well, how can you fight this thing? And so when Joe Namath said he tried it, I said, well, let me try it. So I went and tried it. And when I came out of that chamber I did 1 hour, just 1 little hour, I could see bright colors again. I didn't know I wasn't seeing colors appropriately or the same.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I went to put my glasses on, and I took them off a few times. And the salesman, he was like, what's wrong? And I was like, well, I don't think I need my glasses. And he's like, oh, you one of those? And I'm thinking, okay, he finished telling
One
me
of
this.
those.
Yeah, I think he's about to try to sell me one of these, $25,000 machines. But he's right. Some people get immediate relief, and some people need like 40 to 50 sessions within 30 days, like 2 a day.
Okay.
And for me, like, I got immediate relief, and like, my cloudiness was gone for 6 days. And I went back the following week and did it again. Then I was clear for 9 days. And then I was like, wow, this wasn't fake. It was no placebo. This is real. And so
Mhm.
then the crazy part is, now I got something that's real. but now it costs. I need $20,000. I just bought this lake house. I didn't have 20,000 laying around.
Right.
There wasn't any financing available for stuff like that.
No.
And yeah, so I laid back down in my floor and I was prepared to leave again. Like I was fading away. But my family, they saw how much it was helping me when I used it. So my girlfriend and my dad started talking, and next thing I know, this money shows up. And my dad, he bought my chamber for me. And
Oh.
yeah, but the crazy part is, it took so long. It took 2 months to get there. By the time it got there, it was like I never ever had a treatment. I was back cloudy. I was
Mhm.
back in that dark place, and I was trying to figure. Like I didn't panic though. Like I knew that once this machine shows up, I know what it's going to do for me, and it did, and
Mhm.
it has. And like I have one in my back room. I'm probably 530 hours I've spent in that machine over the last few years, and it's just, man, without it, I still go backwards. It's one of those things.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not like a, one and done, or you do it a few times and you're good. Like it's sort of,
For
it's a
some people,
maintenance.
it
Mm.
is, and for me,
Okay.
like it took me 20 years to get any kind of relief or treatment.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
because most of the thing about it, for us, like we get a concussion, we they just tell us, well, I'm trying to make sure I say this accurately. Like there was one time I went down a bobsled track. We were racing World Cup in Altenburg, Germany. So we went down. We had a bad crash. It was pretty bad.
Mm.
We went back to the top of that mountain. No one checked me out. No one made sure I was okay. And I went right back down that hill again within an
Oh
hour.
my gosh.
And then they crashed me again. So it was 2 crashes
Oh
within an
my
hour.
God.
Yeah, it was like that. And then they wanted me to go again. Like I was like, I can't, guys. I can't. I'm a little bit rattled. Y'all gotta we got an alternate here. Let's just take the alternate. But it's that type of thing. Nobody's there to make sure that you don't get back in that sled or to evaluate
Mhm.
you so you should get in that sled. And like, yeah, there's just no one who's qualified around to help you with that. Yeah. And if you don't get in that sled, you're probably gonna lose your job.
Right.
They're gonna, that's it's just kind of one of those bullying things they would do. Like, oh, he's scared. He's not a man. He's not. No, that
Right.
guy is hurt. Like he shouldn't be in that sled right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And like I watched that bullying my whole career, and
Mhm.
like I never really said much about it. Like I was like, I go again, but
Yeah.
you're not thinking straight. You really aren't. You aren't clear. Yeah.
Yeah. So how does the oxygen chamber work? Do you know? Like
Well,
what it does?
well,
I'm picturing like a big tube, like
yeah.
one of those like polio chambers that they had for people.
I'm so glad you said that. That's the iron lung.
Yeah, that's what's in my head when you're talking about an oxygen chamber.
It looks the one I have looks identical to that. It looks the same, except mine is a
Oh,
soft material I can travel with if I need to.
oh, cool.
The iron lung is usually made out of steel, but they have
Yeah.
those. They have oxygen chambers also made out of steel too. So, but the thing of it is, it's like when I first went to try this thing, that chamber was shaped just like a bobsled. And that's the reason I'm in the situation I was in. I didn't want to get in.
Like, I
A
don't
little
want to get in
fearful.
there.
Yeah, but there was a gentleman. Really need to find out his name. He was in an iron lung for 57 years.
Mhm.
See, one thing with a chamber, if I'm in there 5 days a week and I had to stay up on it, it becomes a chore after a while. And sometimes you just don't want to get in that thing. And I was like that
Yeah.
too. And I got to the point where I was doing better, but I was sad. Like, and I was, because some people got permanent relief. And I'm thinking, well,
Yeah.
how come I don't get permanent relief? Like, am I cursed? Like, what is going on? And so for me, I have to make sure I just keep the maintenance up. I can't let 4 weeks go by without it. If I
Right.
do, I'm gonna pay for it. And yeah, it's just what it is. But that guy has such a great attitude. Like I
Yeah.
couldn't. He made me look in the mirror and say, "Don't you ever complain about this again. It's a blessing to have it." And
Mm.
he spent 57 years without getting out of it. I can do
Yeah.
60 minutes or 90 minutes a day and stop complaining and just shut the hell up and get in there. That's just kind of how yeah, but that guy
Yeah.
taught me a lot, and I really respect him, and I need to do so. I'm going to do something for him. I'm like, well, if I get this, well, when I get my wellness thing up, I want to name something after him because I want to talk to his family first, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that guy helped, you know, helped me just, just kind of save me a little bit because I was definitely getting to that point where I didn't want to get back in this thing. Yeah.
Well, I think it's like that for any treatment, kids who have asthma and have to do their breathing treatments, or with
Yeah.
cystic fibrosis,
Yeah. Yeah.
and there's things that you have to do every day
Yeah.
to, and for them to keep breathing,
Yeah.
and I'm sure they hate it and don't want to keep doing it, but you got to keep on, because what's the alternative, right?
Well, for me, for a while, that alternative seemed like a beautiful thing. It really
Mm,
did. I wanted to go so bad. I was just, but I just couldn't do it at my own hands.
yeah.
But yeah, that's the part is so it'll have you in the darkness, especially when you don't know what it is, and
Yeah.
when you're trying to figure it out, and the doctors aren't helping you, and uh, every time you try to tell somebody what it is, you're like, yeah, I go in this room, and then I get there, and I can't remember what I'm in there. Everybody says the same thing. Oh, I do that too. So then the people around you will help you just kind of minimize it and tuck it away, but
Mhm.
like, no, this is not what this
No,
is.
the level that you're doing it at is a totally different level than,
Yeah,
somebody else. It's not every time we walk into a room. It's just
yeah,
every once in a while,
yeah,
you know. But yeah,
yeah,
I can't even imagine how frustrating it must be. And also, because it's neurological symptoms, you have that much more difficulty communicating them, because you're at a neurological disadvantage
yeah,
already. And you're foggy and all of that. So then trying to communicate that you're foggy,
yeah.
is just, it's twice as difficult.
It's brutal, and like I said, most people, you know, they look at you and they like, oh, you still look like you can race. You still like you in good shape. Like I said, yeah, but not on the inside, man. Something, But that's really what it is. It's like people will talk you out of it, and you go to the doctors, they'll try to convince you that you're okay. But one thing I did learn is like over these years, they always check my blood. They never check my brain. Not
Mhm.
one time were they checking my brain looking for anything. Now,
Which doesn't make any sense either, given, the sport that you did, how many times you crashed,
yeah,
even without crashing. But
yeah,
yeah, those high-speed collisions, well, not collisions, crashes. Um, yeah, you'd think somebody would have looked at your brain at some point.
yeah.
Be like, I've sustained X number of concussions over the years, like even starting with that, you know?
Well, and one thing I learned, like every time we went down that track, you was if you were we like if you get that big concussion where you hit your head or you crash, like that's the big one. Like a lot of time your body might make you sit down or you can't do anything.
Mhm.
But on all those other trips, we were getting micro concussions,
Oh,
which
yeah.
means you're getting the same symptoms. It's just you're not getting the warning signs that come with it, which is
Mhm.
more dangerous because you're still up and you're still doing all the things that you shouldn't be doing because you can, but your
Yeah.
brain really hadn't had that time to recover yet. And
Yeah.
so you are not sitting down; you're still doing it, and I think that's where a lot of the damage is because people aren't talking about those micro concussions. We're
No.
just looking for the big one, like yeah,
Yeah. Well, and we know a lot more about concussions and how they affect us and our health now than we did, 20 years ago also.
well, if that's being the case, like that makes sense. But however, when I started this case for trying to get medical for everybody, and they literally came in the room like, we don't even know what you're talking about. Like it's not real. Like they try to do everything to discount me, man. And it's like, come on, there's a body trail here. There's a death trail. There's a
Yeah.
suicide trail. There's another illness trail. Like you just
Mhm.
can't keep ignoring this thing. And I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, like when I went to the court my last court hearing, the day before, there was a shooting. A gentleman went to New York to shoot the NFL office up, and he left that note. So I made a video and I put it on my social media, and I told people, I said, guys, I know the athletes are getting that bad rep because right now we just keep seeing them. I said, but this is not the population I'm as concerned about. Like, I'm worried about them being healthy and stuff. But when it comes to harming other people, the ones I'm really worried about are our military guys, because they're coming back
Mhm.
with the same thing. They have CTE or these concussion issues from being around those blasts. So
Mhm.
their head is scrambled, and they're natural killers. They are trained killers. So I put that video out, and it's on my social media. Like, I can't make this up. And then the very next week, a military guy went into a bar in Montana, and he shot up some people. And I think he's still hiding in the woods. I'm not sure if they found him yet, but he was hiding in the woods. The following week, another guy went in, and a military guy went in and shot up his commanders.
Mm.
So it's kind of one of those things. Like, we can keep ignoring it, but it's not going to work out good for us, because we're in a country that you can't go to the movies without getting shot. You can't go to church without getting
Mhm.
shot. Man, we can go to a concert without getting shot. Yeah,
Yeah.
So, and then if you look at the statistics, like, I used to work in mental health, but also with youth corrections. I think they said like 60% of people incarcerated had untreated um, brain issues. And that
Yeah.
makes sense. It makes yeah
Yeah.
yeah
It
it makes perfect sense, because they don't treat it. They tell us to go sit down. It's
yeah.
the only injury you can get in sports where they tell you don't do nothing. Like,
Yeah.
what? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And it's mental health. It becomes a mental health issue because it's a hidden physical issue.
yeah,
So then they just blame mental health, especially with, the veterans, because they're not like in the NFL getting,
yeah,
where we see them getting concussions all the time or see them getting injured all the time.
yeah,
And then, yeah, it just leads to, like you said, people not acting themselves.
yeah. And
Yeah.
then I've watched it over the years. It's like, I can almost predict it now.
Wow.
I can almost predict it. I can see it in their eyes. Like, I
Hmm.
just saw a documentary the other day with Kanye West about his mental health stuff, and this was years ago. This was prior to COVID. I wish I still had it. I put it on my Facebook page. I saw what he was doing, and this is before I knew what I had. Like, I could see it in other
Right.
people. I can't see them. It's hard to see it in yourself. But I told people, I put it right
Absolutely.
online. Yeah, I put it right online. I was like, okay, Kanye is doing these bizarre things. He's going to cancel 2 concerts, and then he's going to disappear and go into treatment. And then, and I put this all on Facebook. And then within like 2 days, he canceled a LA concert. Then he canceled another concert. And then he went into treatment. It's like, yeah, it's a certain darkness. I can see it in people's eyes now. Like, I know what
Mhm.
that look is, and it can come from 2 things. One is either head injury, or 2, like, if you're heavily medicated,
Mhm.
and you're like in the mental health, like, if you're heavily medicated, I can see it. Yeah, it's either one of those 2 things. It's never anything else. But yeah, like, we just need to do better with keeping up on our people. Like, it's really a loved one thing. Like, without loved ones around, like, somebody with this condition, they're not going to get help, because you don't know to get help.
Right.
Yeah.
So what would a loved one see? So if I knew somebody who had CTE, what would I notice about them? What would I see?
For me, I'll tell you one of the ones, I would catch myself doing this. Like, I'm at work or whatever I'm doing, I'll just be staring off into space, just looking off, not talking to nobody, not hearing voices, just staring off into space for no reason. Like, that's one of the things I catch myself doing. To see you people doing that, they definitely are going through it. If you see them sitting in the corner and talking to themselves, then you definitely know that they're going through it. They probably, we call it responding to internal stimuli, which means probably hearing voices. Now, those
Okay.
voices get dangerous, because if they're command voices, they're telling them to probably hurt people or to do this or do that. And they have a hard time figuring out if this is real, if they shouldn't do it or shouldn't do it. So they just do it. That
Mhm.
voice to them is like God talking to them. So, and then for me, one of the big ones for me is like, I was trying to tell my family what I'm dealing with. And then, did we talk about going to St. Louis for my sister? Did I mention that?
No. No.
Okay, my sister wanted some cabinets in her house, and it was during COVID. We're not working, so I said, I'm going to St. Louis and put some cabinets in the house for my sister. So I get there, and my dad's a general contractor. So I told him what I
Okay.
was going to do. He's like, He said, okay, meet me at the store tomorrow and I'll call you in the morning. We'll go pick out cabinets. So I have a system, like, for example, I make sure I put everything in the same place all the time. That's part of the CT. You're going to lose stuff. So I immediately took my wallet and I went out to my car, put it in the car. And I went back in the house, went to sleep. So my dad calls me in the morning. I grabbed my keys out the place where I always keep them. I went to the car. My wallet's not there. It's like, that's weird. I went in the house, talked to my sister. She didn't see it. I went and talked to my nephew. He hadn't seen my wallet. I went back to the car, went back to the bedroom. I'm doing this for, I don't know how long it was. Like, when you're in that mind state, time, you have no concept of time at all.
Yeah.
Right? So then my dad calls me. He realized I haven't left the house yet. So now he's a little upset. Not a little, he upset. He's ticked off. They're like, you still there? Like, I'm here already. You got me wasting my day. I got stuff to do. He's not happy at all. And he said, what's wrong? I said, I don't know. I said, Dad, I put my wallet in the car last night, and so I wouldn't be late today. So as I'm telling him that, I'm walking to the car, and I look down, and my wallet is right there where I put it the night before. And so, and so my family got to see it for the first time. And so now that I was telling them, like, I'm having some issues, but I don't really, it's hard to explain what they are, because they don't sound real. Like, how do you tell somebody, okay, I'm not recognizing people that I know? Well, how do you know you don't recognize them if you don't know them? Like, it's like that whole thing. Like, but my dad got to see it, and my family got to see it. And after that, they knew to check up. I've been gone since I was 18. I left home. And so I don't spend a lot of time with the family. So it's kind of like I was kind of suffering in silence. Like, nobody didn't see it on me. Everybody always remember me for being the strong guy, the smart guy, the guy who has his companies. He's doing this. He does these great things. But like, I was fading, and I was fading quick. And that's the part that really saved me, because at that point, when I found something to help, which was the chamber, my dad was the one who stepped up and was like, hey, take this money. Because I refused to take it at first. Like, no, I don't want it. I'll move some money around later. I'll pull some equity if I need to, or I'll pull some stock stuff, whatever. But really, the truth is, I laid down and I was fading away again, and I was just out of it. It was like I'd never been in an oxygen chamber. There was not and when you're in that mind, you can't see the beauty in anything.
No.
I remember dating some people, like, we had some great relationships, but I had this thing in my head I would do. I'd be like, do not fall in love with me. Like, do not. They'd be like, why? And I'd be like, I don't know. I couldn't really tell people why. But I tell them, don't get too close to me, because something, and then eventually they leave. And I'll be like, why'd they leave? Well, you told them to.
You told them
to. Yeah, they did exactly what, but it was the weirdest thing. As a matter of fact, every time when they've left, I'd be like, relieved. Okay, I left. Like, now I'm starting this over and over and over. Everybody you meet, it's the same thing. Don't fall for me. Like, but your mind, you said, you're not thinking clear. You can't, Yeah, it was just brutal. Brutal.
Well, I'm glad you are still here, and that you're sharing your story with people. What would you tell somebody who was really in it for whatever reason, either for this reason with undiagnosed CTE, or just for any reason where they're just hoping, it'll end one way or another?
Well, the first thing is, like, don't panic, and, like, there are things out here that can help. Like, for example, the chamber. That's for me. That's number one. I haven't found anything else that has given me any relief. Matter of fact, I went so far as to, I just disclosed everything to this doctor. I would have never told anybody I was ever in a dark place before. I said, like, what have I got to lose at this point? Let me just talk about it. And so I talked to this doctor, and he's supposed to be one of the leading CTE doctors. There's not many people out there, and he's actually since retired. So it's not many doctors who can help you with this condition. But, like, oh my gosh, I just lost that train of thought. Like, this is part of my everyday thing. I'll start talking. I'll be like, okay, what the heck was I really going with that? Let me think for a second. We were talking about
advice for people who are in a dark place.
Okay. I well, really, I would say this is what I did. I built community, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and and the truth is, like, I was in that dark place for so long. Like, only way I came out was really that chamber. Nothing else brought me out of that darkness. Oh, I know what I was talking about. I tried the pills they gave me a Zoloft, and that
Mm.
Zoloft, like, it made things even worse. Like, it was like, and I knew
Well,
people
yeah, because those are formulated for a healthy brain.
make sense. Yeah, it made, yeah, it made my issues 10 times worse. Like, man, and then there was actually one time I was feeling so good. I had been using my chamber. I'm like, man, I'm back to normal. This is doesn't get any better than this. Like, thank you, Lord. Like, wow. And I said, okay, well, maybe I don't need any more because Joe Namath said he didn't need his, but he didn't leave
Mhm.
me any records. And he just said he didn't need it. So
Yeah.
I said, okay, let me stop using it. And so I remember a few weeks went by. I don't know how much time it was, and I went to that dark place again. And here I am. I'm walking up and down the street. I'm just crying. I don't want nobody to see me. I don't want to disturb my girlfriend. I don't want her to know what's going on in my head because it's all dark. It's just dark.
Mhm.
And I just couldn't figure it out for 3 days. I was going through this, and I literally tripped over my chamber. It was in my living room at the time, and I was like, "Oh yeah!" I was doing a test to see if I still need this chamber. Idiot, get back in the chamber. And I couldn't figure it out. Like, it was like, man, I was ready to just lose it all just because all they do is get back in this thing for an hour. And
Mhm.
that's how this condition is. Like, it's quick, it's brutal, and it's very unforgiving. And
Mhm.
so if your loved ones are dealing with it, it you're the key. You're the key. He can't do it. She can't do it.
Mhm.
She's not gonna find this help on her own. Well, I wind up doing it, but not many are. Not many
Yeah.
are. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's, a lot of times we talk about, if you're in the hole, if you're really depressed, you're in that dark place, reach out for help, which is really hard to do when you're in that place. But
Yeah.
it's also, if you see somebody who's going through something, to reach out and
Yeah.
help and try to figure it out. And I learn something every time I do an episode of this podcast
Oh, nice.
about, different reasons that people have mental health issues, have suicidal ideation. Like, there's a million and one reasons that we're going through that.
Yeah.
And there's also a million and one ways to get out of it.
Yeah.
There's, and just because you try something once or twice and it doesn't work, or you try a handful of things, like, keep trying, because eventually, for you it was an oxygen chamber. Like, that's not a thing that's like at the top of everyone's list to
Yeah.
try to feel better.
Yeah.
You have to keep trying things. And I really loved what you said earlier at the beginning of our conversation, where you're like, if today is a good day to end your life, then tomorrow will be also. So
Yeah.
let's wait and see how we feel tomorrow, and just
Yeah.
keep that one day at a time.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. Like, I've taught that. That's something I came up with myself, and it's what saved me. All these things I was teaching
Yeah.
these young men and young ladies, and I was on cruise control, and I didn't even know it. I promise you, I shouldn't have made it. I really,
Yeah. Well, I for one am very glad that you did, and I'm sure that everybody you are helping by letting us know that CTE exists and that there is help. I mean, you're doing amazing work in the world, and I thank you for that. And I thank you for sharing your story with us here today.
thank you. I appreciate it. And guys, please find our crowdfunding. Like, we are we're literally just weeks away from being able to open this place up. And if I have to start small, I would do it at the lake house. But I have a building already prepared for us. Well, I can buy the building, but it's going to take the build out. It's going to take a
Yeah.
little bit more money but I'm going to be able to help a whole lot more people. Like, if the
Amazing.
lake house, I'm probably like 2, 4, like 2 a month is all I can really handle. At the new place, probably 10, 20 a day. It's a difference. And there's so many
Wow.
of us. Yeah, because I tell you what, like I tell people all the time, like, and the studies will back this up. You guys can do your own homework. Like, I was lost in my own neighborhood. Like, all I had to do was go up my street, one straight away, make a left. Good luck coming back. It was less than a half a mile away. I was struggling. I kept telling myself, what if I go the other way? Like, I lived right in the middle of this block. It's a rectangle, right? I live right in the middle. So
Mhm.
I went here. I'm at the store. Okay, well, what if I go this way? It's the same thing, but
Yeah.
I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
I'd be in my apartment just having a meltdown. But what's on the other side? Like, what? I can't. The mind. I'm telling you, it was just bizarre. Like, yeah. But I protected myself. Like, I took the motorcycle, put it away. I didn't register that thing anymore.
Mhm.
When I left the sport, I bought my dream car, which I just got rid of. It was I always wanted a Porsche 911, but
Mhm.
on cloudy days, I'm not getting behind the wheel of that car either.
No.
I just everything. I was protecting myself, putting cushions everywhere because I said this is not right and I'm not safe, and I definitely don't want to take anybody with me. You know, I was
Yeah.
okay to go, but I don't want to take anybody with me. I said I don't want to do that. So, but yeah, like this is the sad part. 1 hour in that chamber changed my life. And meanwhile, like there was a young man who killed himself yesterday. There was more the weeks before. Every day there's somebody going through this. It's the hundreds,
Mhm.
hundreds and hundreds and
Oh,
hundreds.
yeah.
And it's so simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hop in this
Yeah.
stupid little chamber, take a nap, watch a movie, play a game, talk to your love, whatever. And then you come out and it's like, whoa. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. I still don't understand it. But
But it works.
yeah, it definitely
And
works.
that's the trick is finding what works for each of us.
Yeah, like I said, even though there's some people who get that permanent relief, like I haven't found that yet. They said if I try higher pressure, which I did yesterday, it might make a difference where I don't go backwards. So
Mm.
I'm working on that now. I did the first one yesterday. I'm gonna do a couple more next week, and I'm
All
gonna see if
right.
there's a difference. Like, I'm the guinea pig. Like I'm like, guys, I couldn't talk, I couldn't read, I couldn't write, I couldn't do anything. I was faded. Like if I can come out of this, and other things like you see everybody's like, parents, they get older and they start to have those
Mhm.
issues. They couldn't have been off no worse than me. And the studies say if you in the Alzheimer's or dementia and use a chamber, the studies say it'll help you.
Oh,
Like and like
okay.
because I was telling people about it and they was like, oh yeah, the studies tell us that. I never read that study. It's just
Yeah.
what worked for me and it brought me out of it. So I'm like, there's so many things that this thing does that it's helpful with, and I just really want to get the information out to the people so they can,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you don't have to just waste away. It's not necessary.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
All right.
So if you guys see my crowdfunding, please make a donation. I don't care if it's $1, $1,000, $5.
We'll put it in the description.
Yeah. Yeah. Please do it and follow our journey because
Yeah.
we're saving lives and we're doing it for free. We don't want to charge anybody anything. It'll be not for profit eventually. So,
Amazing.
follow us. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for listening. Remember that you are loved, you are worthy, you are valuable, you are meant for more, and that it really does get better. If you are in crisis, there are numbers that you can call or text to get the help that you need. That information for Canada and the US is in the description below each episode. If you are in immediate crisis, please call 911. We love you, and I hope you'll listen again.